How many in the room know somebody that is homosexual, transgender, or confused? Or know somebody, cashier, whatever, right? Well, I spent over 30 years in the LGBT movement, and 20 of those years I lived as a transgender woman. I need this, because if I don't have this, we'll be here all night. Greg will be booting me out of here. At 14 years old, I was a runaway who was confused, on female hormones, buying them on the street, who was also a prostitute and a drug addict and an alcoholic. And I had no value, no self-value. But what all I was seeking was love, joy, peace, and intimacy. I thought intimacy was sex. I ended up on my deathbed in 2009 with full-blown AIDS, infections in my brain and my blood, hospice put into place, in my home, given less than 3 months to live with no immune system, and a viral load that took over my entire body. That's when I picked up the word, because I was at the end of my rope. And he touched me, and he healed me. And I stand before you today, healed, redeemed, sanctified, and made whole again. Amen. Made whole again because I was able to discover my true identity. An identity that is found only in Yeshua, in Jesus the Christ, right? So the church needs direction. The church needs to be informed. The church has dropped the ball long enough. Political correctness and basically the mantras up till now have been born that way, so it's okay. Who am I to care who they love or turn or burn? And I experienced all that when I was in the world. I didn't want to know any of those gods because they weren't the gods the God I was seeking. So the church needs to be informed because it's an identity issue. This isn't about orientation. There's one sexual orientation. It's in our design. We cannot change that. It's defined from the very beginning of creation as one man and one woman. That is our orientation. And the lost, the broken, right? The bamboozled, the indoctrinated, they are the ones. They're the ones that deserve to discover their true identity. And the church has to be the one to lead them by example, in word, in deed, in action. Residue is a guide, and that's how it's going to be done. Remove every stronghold in depth. Undo everything. And it's everything that has to be undone. Everything. Okay? I mean, from 4 years old up, everything has to be undone. The only moment for me, there were two moments. It was one, recognizing that I had a loving father, which I never had in my life because mine took his life. And two, was that all I had to do was humble myself and get rid of the pride and just admit that I was wrong. I didn't know I was living in sin for over 30 years, but I knew that something just wasn't quite right. So you can go to the next slide. The residue home is a future thing that we're working on by this spring. And it's going to be a safe place to be discipled without the pressures of environment. We have three enemies: the world, Satan, and this flesh. Jesus the Christ has been crucified. This flesh hasn't. It takes us into racism. It takes us into pornography. It takes us into alcohol, into drugs, into promiscuity. This is why we need to discover our true identity in Jesus the Christ. So I have books out there, residue books, not this many, but I have residue books out there, and I also have testimonial booklets if anyone's interested. I also do you go to the next one. That's my website, IBelongAmen.com, my email, and Monday through Thursday at 9 a.m. Oh, you can go to the next one. That's the old me. That's the old man. And that's the new man. Okay. And the last slide. Monday through Thursday, I do at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. On YouTube, I do a live stream, and Tuesday evenings as well. But that's what it is, and people need to learn how. The church needs to learn. Because it's really important that we know that what we need to start doing is making some friends and associates and establishing intimate relationships with those who aren't like us, who don't dress like us, who don't think like us or act like us. Because that's the only way we're going to be the example. Thank you.
So basically what we want to do with these conference things is go in and have a